All right, I really do believe, and I think Mark Cuban is starting to be more public on this. Nick, I don't think you can throw this season away. If it ends with a LeBron championship against the Celtics or a Giannis, that is so important, and that'll be an enormously positive final image. You agree or disagree with that?
Oh, I agree. I think they're going to play it. Now, will there be fans there? I don't know. Is it going to be less than an 82-game regular season? Almost assuredly. Like, right now, what I think is the best case scenario, the best realistic case scenario for the NBA is you get in, you have 6 regular season games left. You play those over 2 weeks, and then you have a breakneck playoffs, which, if we are going to tease this forward and assume this year is going to be played, turns out a team like the Lakers that hasn't been resting, that has actually treated the regular season like it matters, it could play very well into their hands as opposed to a team like your beloved Clippers, who I heard you chipped in $5 million to help them buy the Forum. Bully for you, Colin. That team that has been saying all year long, no, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, all of a sudden it might be a sprint. And this Clippers-Lakers conference finals, everyone's been saying we're going to get. If we do get the playoffs, I don't know if the Clippers will be there in the conference finals, because I don't know if the Clippers know what their rotation is yet, know how to play together yet. I think that really matters. Yeah, and by the way, it should be noted, the MVP hopefully goes to LeBron. He took the season seriously. The Lakers took the regular season seriously. We so often say the regular season doesn't matter, but to your point, Milwaukee and the Lakers, the Celtics, Denver, teams that have taken the regular season seriously are going to be in home court situations. Toronto. Yes. How about Toronto? Yes. Like, I know we don't. The defending champs. They won 59 games the year before Kawhi got there. They won 58 with Kawhi. They're about to win. Well, they were on pace to win around 59 again. Again, Nick Nurse, Masai Ujiri. That team. I think Milwaukee's going to the finals, but if it's not Milwaukee, I think Toronto's got as good of a shot as anybody. Yeah, regular season in the NBA, don't listen to anybody. There is still value to it. Now, I talked about this about 10 minutes ago. You may or may not have heard it. I said when teams go after a quarterback, it tells you what drove them nuts about the previous one. And I used Andy Reid and Alex Smith. Publicly, we love him. But they went from a safe, steady, accurate guy to a young, inexperienced, loose, makes mistakes guy in Patrick Mahomes. It was telling you, Andy Reid was like, we love him, but he won't let it rip. And Mahomes is the ultimate let-it-rip guy. And I think Bridgewater and Brady, Bruce Arians is telling you, we're good. We just keep beating ourselves. These guys never beat themselves, even though they're limited, arm and physically. So now we have Cam. Is the NFL telling you, because Cam can't get an offer, they're telling you, listen, what's really important in this league is focus. Cam can sometimes be distracted, and accuracy. Cam's a lot of things. That's not it. It's not against Cam. It's that what he's represented is a turnoff in the new NFL. Well, I think it's a good theory. The problem is there aren't 32 guys that represent those things. You were talking about teams trying to get something different. It's exactly what your friend Chris Ballard and the Indianapolis Colts did. Like Jacoby, you're steady. You don't throw turnovers. We appreciate you. But we're going to go with the guy who's 38 years old who just had 20 picks because flatly he has more arm talent. And that Phillip Rivers signing is the reason I'm so beside myself that no one traded for Cam. So it's Phillip Rivers at age 38 after 20 interceptions with the worst body language in the NFL since Jay Cutler was done moping around. He instantly gets $25 million, and nobody wants to trade a mid-round pick for Cam Newton. And this nonsense, oh, well, you can't trade a pick for him, because then if he's not healthy, you've wasted the pick. Do you know how many mid-round quarterbacks get drafted and they're wasted picks? Have you met Nathan Peterman? Luke Falk would like to say hello. Cardale Jones just got benched in a different league. These teams won't give give a 4th or a 5th round pick to lock in the certainty of Cam Newton at $20 million, a totally reasonable deal, and instead Joe Flacco, after being terrible for 5 years, John Elway's like, Case Keenum didn't work out, but let me give Flacco $66 million. I don't understand what's happening. It's to this point, Colin, I really do believe that his press conference wardrobe is working against him. I think people are still holding the Super Bowl post-game press conference from 5 years ago against him. I think it's non-football stuff because the football reason is Cam perfect? No. But the idea that the Dolphins or the Chargers didn't trade the 147th pick of the draft for him is just insane to me.
Yeah. You know, we can, you are not as enamored with Brady going forward as I am.
No, I'm not.
You're
no
not.
one is other than Giselle.
Yeah. But I think you and I do agree. I find it fascinating that I am submitting this as a theory, and I'm getting a ton of pushback, which is the Patriots released maybe the 3rd or 2nd best kicker of all time. They let go of their 2 playmaking linebackers. They didn't go after any of the quarterbacks like Bridgewater, who are significantly better than what they have. And let's see, they've got 12 picks. They'll get 3 more supplemental next year for Collins, Van Noy, and Brady. My theory is they're going to move about 4 of their picks this year to next year's draft with their picks and their supplemental. They're going to have about 12 to 14 picks, and they'll use 8 of them to move somewhere in the top 2 or 3. People think, oh, they're tanking. They're not tanking. They're going to be Miami. They're going to maintain their culture, play their butt off, but be outscored mostly by better AFC offenses. That's my theory. I get a lot of pushback. It seems so obvious. Either Belichick doesn't know what he's doing or he's got a plan. I'm going to go with it's the latter. What say you on my theory that they know they've got equity, they're going to get all these picks, and next year go big for a young quarterback?
So I love the theory, and by the way, as we are now entering this sports topic desert, I want to thank you as someone that produces 5 hours of content a day for you postulating this theory, because it's given me about a week's worth of radio shows. I just argue with an invisible Colin Cowherd because I don't think this theory holds any water as much as I adore it. Right. And here's why, and I think it's going to be something that I'm going to try to relate it somewhere that something you can relate to. When you made the big leap from your former employer to FS1, if they had come to you and said, listen, Colin, we all know we're not going to be dominant in year 1. And in fact, what is best for us is if we just kind of tank this first year because it's not our championship year anyway, and here's the plan and here's why, it might all make sense. And then the devil on your shoulder might say, okay, I get what you're saying, but bleep that. I'm not letting people have those headlines. I'm not letting people say, I made a mistake, this was a failure because I'll be proven right in 5 years. I want to be proven right now and in 5 years. I do not think a 67-year-old Bill Belichick is signing up for a year's worth of discussion. It was always Brady. Belichick was along for the ride. Look, he was holding him back. I think instead what he's trying to sign up for is last year, 12 games, my defense held the opponent to 17 points or less. Why can't we do that again? Those were the only 12 games we won. The 5 games my defense didn't play great. We lost all 5 because we had average quarterback play last year. We can have average quarterback play again this year. So I actually think it's going in the other direction. I do think they're stripping it down to a degree, but I think Belichick still thinks they're winning that division and thinks winning 11 games without Tom Brady is going to be more impressive than the 12 they won with him for his own personal legacy. So, please keep this theory up because now I also have 2 hours for tonight on radio, but I don't agree with it.
I love you. I saw you yesterday. It made me happy. I'm getting more Nick Wright. I've been listening to you every day, buddy. Continued success. We're going to get through this whole thing. You're in New York City, and I know there's some tension there in the city, but we're going to get through it. That city's got great people and great leadership, and thanks for coming on.
We'll be fine. And you mentioned Mark Cuban. If in 2028 there was a Cuban Cowherd ticket, I'd vote for it. Talk to you later, my friend.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.